Hello, and welcome back to The Healthiest Home. I'm your host, Ainsley, and as always, this is my co-host, favorite person in the world, best friend, and husband, Gerardo. We are so happy you guys are here with us today. If this is your first time tuning in, we are here just to help you ditch that all or nothing mindset and find balance on your own healthy-ish journey. We hope we can inspire, encourage, and motivate you in some small way.
So today, we're sipping on a Bloom energy drink. Well, we will be.
We will be, yes.
This is the new Glacier Crush flavor, the winter, the winter
So the cool
version?
thing about Bloom is that they have seasonal flavors that you can only get during that season. For the first time, we are trying the Glacier Crush. We'll be sipping on it throughout the episode, and at the end, we'll let you know what we think. Cheers.
Cheers.
So, wow, we are on episode 13. That means we've been doing this for almost over 3 months. It feels like it's been way longer.
Think so?
I do. It feels like so much time has passed, but it's only been 3 months since we started our podcast. I think that's crazy.
Well, yeah, it does. I think I feel like it's gone by quick.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so yay for 3 months. All right, so last week, well, let me rewind a little bit. So, we just had the holiday, Thanksgiving, and I feel like us, personally, like probably a lot of other people, kind of missed the beat and maybe missed a workout, maybe ate more than they wanted to, maybe, drank a little too much. I don't know. Could be anything, right? And I confessed last week that when that happens, I get really, really down on myself. I get really in my head about it, a lot of negative self-talk. And you left me and all our listeners with some encouraging words about, basically just knock it off, acknowledge was the first step. This sucks. The fact that this happened, that sucks. The fact that I didn't get to do this, that sucks. But don't let that disappointment linger. Cut it off after you acknowledge it. Stop. And what's the next healthy-ish thing I can do right now? What's the next thing I can do that will add value to my life, that'll improve my life? Whether it's drinking some water, going on a walk, stretching, stuff that you like to do, quick, intense kettlebell workouts. This is not my jam, but that's what you do when you miss a beat.
Yeah, I mean, even when we did have we overate, even while we were there, we're just like, oh, let's go for a walk. Like, let's go get some extra steps here and there. Mm-hmm. We took advantage of being there in a new neighborhood. Mm-hmm. Not a new neighborhood, but like in a neighborhood that we're not there often. Yeah. Leo encouraged me to walk. He was like, let's go take my little tricycle out. And he took me around the block. So I got extra steps in. I didn't bring the kettlebell like I had planned. I just forgot.
Yeah.
But we had just worked out the day before really good. So I wasn't really worried about it.
We were only gone for maybe 36 hours, right? But
exactly.
And we're getting better. We're getting better at packing. We're getting better at realizing what we should. Because before, if we were leaving, even if it was for a couple of days or a week, throw caution to the wind.
Yeah.
Just enjoy yourself, whatever it is. And there's nothing wrong with that if that's your jam. But we have been super intentional about our nutrition lately and want to keep that locked in. So we're learning, what do we need to pack? Should we bring our meal prep? Should we do this? Should we bring it? So we're slowly...
Which we did. We brought a lot of food with us, which is not something we normally do.
Yeah, which helped.
Yeah, which eventually, if we don't, in the past, when we didn't do that, I feel like we'd binge, when it was finally food time. Mm-hmm. Because we were just so hungry or we're eating snacks and carbs all day rather than focusing on protein.
Yeah, and our version of healthy isn't everyone's version of healthy. So just learning these little things out as we go and not beating yourself up. I always tell people, you should always be making progress, right? You always want to continue to progress over time in every area of your life, whether that's nutrition, your physical fitness, your overall wellness, whether it's knowledge, we love to read. In every area of our life, we should be growing.
Right.
So learning not to take these, what we see as setbacks, don't look at those as failures, look at them as lessons. And I still get in my head sometimes, but...
Yeah, and we're not so overly strict on it. I think that's right, though. We go for progression, not perfection.
Right.
Where we could have a mindset of going to holidays and you're like, I'm going to bring a scale and weigh everything out. I'm not going to partake in anything that's extra and not really have enjoyment in that. So I think with the way we handle it, it's like, okay, I feel like we both, even
I
with our
definitely wanted
kids-
to bring my scale. I just forgot. I wanted to
well,
weigh
I
out,
mean,
I wanted to weigh out that turkey. But also like you forget it, okay, don't let that ruin
no big deal.
your time. Like it's about the visit and the family and the memories. And yeah, I want to stay on track and continue to progress in my nutrition. But it's just all a learning experience. So.
Well, yeah, then it's the whole like, how do I get out of this mindset of like negativity? If I didn't hit my macros and I had more alcohol than planned, or I didn't sleep because I just stayed up late with family, you start thinking of like, okay, this turkey or these mashed potatoes, like how am I gonna be able to use this for meal prep? And you're like already thinking like, okay, how to get back onto the boat?
Yeah.
How do I plan for our future? Which has been awesome, like having extra food and take, leftovers.
Yeah.
Which is like, oh, cool, consistent food and abundance of it.
Mm-hmm.
Easier for me to do macros.
Yeah. Definitely. All right, babe. So let's jump into this week's episode. So we've talked in a lot of our previous episodes about strength training and how that's kind of like, in our opinion, the keystone to just fitness, health, wellness, just adds so much value to your life, longevity to your life. So let's say we have some listeners and they took to heart what we've been saying and like, okay, I bought a set of weights or I got some resistance bands. I'm ready. But now what? What are we going to do? With so much information out there, a lot of it really good, but if you don't know where you're looking, it could be really bad. What should be their next steps?
Yeah, definitely. Because you can try to figure it out on your own and try to pair things out together. And
Then we can talk on that because it's kind of like what we did.
Well, I mean, we did a lot of research starting off, and there's just so much out there that I'm like, okay, what movements should I be doing? How am I supposed to pair them together? What order am I supposed to put them in? How many reps and how many sets am I supposed to do of each one?
Well, I took a month of CrossFit and thought I was a professional at the end of it. So,
well, there's just so much out there, and what might be for one person's goal is not necessarily for everybody's goal. We definitely feel that everybody should be strength training, whether you love to go surf or you love to go skateboarding or you love to go swimming.
Value, yeah.
If that's your main foundation of your week on a regular basis, and you still have all the other things that you still enjoy, it's just going to add value to all those sports that you enjoy doing and your mobility at home and just the daily life. Mm-hmm. But how do we actually pair up strength training programs together, and how do we string those together?
Yeah.
One way is to just hire a coach. A coach is so valuable for the initial training part of weightlifting, mostly because you don't know what you're doing and you don't have those extra pair of eyes to help you and correct you and to cater a program that's meant just for you. Mm-hmm. But if that's not an option, whether it's time, money, or just it's not a possibility, then get a really good workout program. Mm-hmm. But you got to be thorough on what you can't just pick the first thing you find on the internet and just run with it, because there is different quality of programs out there.
So let's say you're going the route of a personal trainer or a coach. Walk us through why that's important. Why is it important to have a personal trainer? What you said, they have eyes on you, alluding to they can teach you proper technique, inform. What else?
Yeah, so on top of them being able to guide you on muscle movements and mobility type issues when you're actually doing the exercises, because that's I think a biggest point where for us we can watch each other and help each other out on our exercises. It's kind of like having a camera pointed at you and recording your video, but having a coach is going to correct you in real time and be able to stop you from doing something that could possibly hurt yourself.
Right.
So that's already valuable right there, because a lot of people stop exercising early on because they get injured. Therefore, you don't get the progression and you don't get that physique that you've been wanting to. And then you have a negative stigma to it of like, oh, exercising equals getting injured, when that's not the case.
Right.
Another big thing about having a coach is being able to make a program for you and make it progressively harder for you in a very well done way.
Sustainable. Yeah.
Sustainable way where it's like you're not going to be overloaded and get burnt out or injured. And two, it's very doable for you.
And I think there's definitely the accountability factor. Like if you're paying for someone, you're going to show up. You're going to show up to the session. You're going to, and they can help. A good coach will definitely help you stay motivated. They'll be encouraging, and that can add so much value to just your workout.
Well, definitely, because the motivation, I think, is I guess an important aspect of exercising, because you don't work out one day and then get shredded the next. Like
Right.
it takes time, it takes effort, it takes consistency, and having somebody that's like being encouraging and motivating you throughout this very hard journey. It can be very hard to like stay on board. Having a personal coach that's constantly checking on you throughout the week and encouraging you is such an essential part, because without that motivation and encouragement, you might think you're not getting results when in reality you are, and you just don't see them because you're so used to seeing yourself every day, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. And there's definitely, if you're looking for a coach, definitely shop around, I would say. Don't just go with the first person you meet. A good coach should be willing to meet with you beforehand before you ever put any money on the table, and just feel each other out, because there's going to be someone that's going to be constantly in your life for who knows how long. So
Right. Well, it's a valid point. Like a coach should be doing an assessment on what you're doing. They should know a lot more about just like what you're going to be doing for 45 minutes or an hour that you're doing with them. Like they'd be like, okay, where can you be doing some walking? How are you eating? It's a very well-rounded approach. And that's how we should be looking. If your coach is telling you just to do cardio for the whole hour that you're with them,
yeah, so
that's probably not the best.
red flag.
Red flag, you know, and they're not paying attention to you and they're not helping you get better at these movements that are so essential.
Yeah.
Yeah, so talking back more about the well-rounded approach of like they should know how you're sleeping, how your nutrition is, how often are you actually going to the gym, are you stressed out at work, are you stressed out at home? Like these are all things that matter in your health fitness journey.
Yeah.
And those are things that the personal coach can actually, change the program according to what you're dealing with in life.
Yeah.
Which is a huge benefit versus actually following a sheet of paper that's telling you all these things you need to do, because that sheet of paper isn't going to be adjusted. It doesn't know you. Same with like using an AI on your phone. Like you can use AI, but your phone doesn't know, I had a stressful day at work, or I didn't get, have something going on, or I haven't been focused, or I haven't had a date night with my wife in 3 weeks. So these are all things that matter in your health and fitness journey, other than just the exercise that you're doing in the gym.
Yeah. But say you don't have the money, you don't have the time, you don't have the whatever barriers might be in your way. You can't go the personal training or the coach route, and you have to go the paper route. What are some key things to look at when you're looking for a program? Because there's so much out there.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of baloney out there, if we're being honest. So if you're shopping around for a program, what are some key things you think that program should offer?
I would say focus on full body movements that, same with a paper, you can change the reps and sets, but having a general outline of big movements, like the big compound movements that we're always talking about, the squats, the deadlift, bench press, the shoulder press, the rows, things that incorporate that as the main foundational movements in your workout program.
I would say making sure it's for a beginner as well, right? If you're a beginner, making sure it's for a beginner, so it has the first session shouldn't be throw 400 pounds on the barbell and start lifting.
Right.
It should be lighter weight and more reps.
Right, and that's the thing, just like get your ligaments and tendons.
That's my opinion.
Well, I agree, yeah, because you're not going to just walk up to your first day, never worked out before, and pick up a 500-pound deadlift and try to do that even once.
Right.
So that program should be catered to you as a beginner. Like, okay, it's going to be very simple movements that aren't very technical. So like, let's say that first day it says you're supposed to do an Olympic lift.
Right.
That workout program is definitely not for you, because that's a very technical movement that can cause injury if you don't know what you're doing. The same with all the exercise. If you don't know what you're doing, you can get yourself injured, and that's the last thing you want. So when you look at these exercise programs,
it should be stabilization. It should be
lightweight.
It's the same compound movements that we've been talking about,
right?
But at a very lightweight. They'll probably have you be doing higher reps, just to get that baseline and learn the movements. But it should be going slow. Like, you shouldn't be pumping them out. It should be like 2 seconds up, 2 seconds down.
And this is where the whole beginning of focusing on your form and technique is so important, especially when you don't have a coach that's helping you. You want to be really intentional on how you're moving your body. That way you build up good muscle memory and good habits, so that when you do eventually progress to something heavier and harder, you have that good foundation of picking up weights properly.
Right. So after all that, after I don't know how long, probably what do you think? 2 to 4 weeks of the stabilization? for a beginner.
Yeah.
Eh.
4 weeks would be safe.
Yeah, and then the program would probably give you options. Like if you're feeling really good in that, you feel like you're getting the movements down, you feel like you can progress and do more weight. That's when it's kind of called progressive overload. You start adding more weight to your dumbbells or to your barbell, and the program should be doing this for you, but you can peek ahead and be like, okay, I'm feeling good. Maybe I can jump to week 4.
Yeah.
But not having that coach, you kind of have to feel it out, and you have to go into it knowing you don't want to burn out. You don't want to be super sore after your session. You don't want to feel like you can't move. You know, like, so what's a good number? Like, you shouldn't go more than 10%. Shouldn't increase your weight or your distance or
if you're overloaded.
Whatever it is.
Yeah. So yeah, let's say like, I don't know, very simple. Let's say you're picking, you're lifting 100 pounds 1 week, whether that's a bench press or a deadlift, whatever that movement. Let's just say it's simple. You do that for 3 weeks in, same kind of rep ranges. That doesn't mean you're doing 10 each single time. There is always rep ranges. You feel differently from one day to the next, so there is variation. But the next time you're ready to bump it up, you go 110 pounds. You might feel confident that I can do 130.
But you should wait.
Because you don't want to do something. I mean, you're still learning. You're still at the beginner phase. Your mind might be like, oh, let's just put a bunch of weight. I'm ready. I'm warmed up. I've been doing this for a month.
And guys, we've been there. We've done these things. We've made these mistakes, and that's why we're talking to you guys about it. Yeah, we're not professionals by any means, but we're just taking you through our experience.
Yeah. So the goal is.
So we have done this. We have thrown weight on the bar, and gone really heavy, and it probably wasn't the best thing for us at that time.
Yeah.
And I find myself wanting to do it still. But I have learned, and I know now, like last week on my front squat, I'm like, I feel like I can definitely do more than 175.
Right. Well, the thing is, we've been doing this for quite some time, that we're pretty in tune with our body. And if our body's telling us like, you know what, I'm feeling really good today, those are the times you can push it. And other days where you're like, I'm not really feeling it. I didn't get a lot of good sleep today. Something's off. You kind of tone it back, regardless of what the program is telling you, because we've been doing it enough. But if you're a beginner and you have no idea what you're doing, just staying consistent to the program, doing little gradual steps. The whole point is to prevent injury. Like, that's the worst thing that can happen to you trying to do your health and fitness goals, because then you're completely done. Like, you're out. You have to stop everything and recover. You might be able to do other stuff, but essentially your main workout plan is like on hold.
Right.
So by doing these general rules of 10% overload from one to the next is going to prevent injury. It's going to be just hard enough where you're still working more, but you're not having such a huge leap where you get injured.
And then it should be manageable. You should be picking a program. You know your schedule. You should be picking a program that fits that schedule. If you work and you're a parent, you work full time, you're a parent, you have other obligations, you shouldn't be trying to max out 5 to 6 days a week of working out.
Right.
For an hour and a half, an hour and 45 minutes. You should find a schedule that works for you. Maybe that's 2 to 3 times a week, or maybe that is 5 days a week, but 20 minutes each day.
Yeah.
So picking something that works for you.
Yeah, and there's a lot out there of like, hey, you only got 20 minutes every single day to work out. You're probably not going to look for, like the bodybuilding 1 hour and a half daily workouts, because that's not where you're at in that season. So you look for programs out there that match up, like you're saying, like for your goals. And I've learned that myself, adjusting where like, okay, I have 3 days out of the week to exercise, but in those days I don't have more than an hour and a half or an hour and 15. So I'm like, okay, when I look at the programs, I take out all the fluff, all the things that I feel that aren't necessarily 100% necessary.
Again, that's because you've done this for a while. You know your body, you know what you're good at, you know what you need to work on, you know what you need to hit. And these accessory workouts are great, but that's just not where you're going to focus on. You want to focus on the compound movements, you want to focus on the strength training components. And if you have time, you can throw some accessory work in there. And all of this that we're talking about, like, these are things that I totally missed when I first started. That's why I feel like I can speak to this a little bit. Like I mentioned earlier in the episode, like I took my first experience weightlifting was through a CrossFit class. And I love CrossFit. I think CrossFit is amazing. I think the community is amazing. But I took a CrossFit class, I don't know, 6 months maybe, a year. I don't know how long I was doing it for. Felt like a long time. And felt like I was now an expert. So I would go and program our own workouts. And I was doing snatches before I can even squat properly. And it just didn't make sense. But it made sense to me at the time because I thought I knew everything.
Yeah.
And I ended up getting hurt. And it took me years to just, because I'm so stubborn, admit it. Like, okay, I need to dive in. I need to learn more. I need some more research. Now we're taking actual classes and all this stuff and actually listening to you and actually getting your feedback. Oh my goodness. You touched on it earlier, you guys, especially if you don't have a coach, even if you do, but you're working out on your own, take videos of yourself. I know it feels weird, especially if you're in a gym setting, but take videos of yourself. Take videos of your form. That's what I would do when I was relearning. I would take videos of my squats. If you weren't there with me for your eyes, I'd be like, hey, in real time, I'd text you, hey, how does this look?
Yeah, you would.
And you would text me back, hopefully.
In time.
And you would draw on the video and be like, okay, do this X, Y, and Z to fix it. And that right there, swallowing my pride, swallowing my ego, and asking for help is why I'm at where I'm at today. And I have full confidence, and I've been making strides in the gym, and we're doing this podcast. Like it's just, experience takes time, and knowledge is power. So get that help. Take the video, send it to someone, a trusted friend that it has experience.
That's the thing. Like, you might be that one person in your whole family or friend group that's actually trying to exercise and work out, and you don't know what you're doing, so you might not have that. Mm-hmm. But what you can do, if you have a video, you have the video, you look at the YouTubes of how to do proper form, and you compare the two. And if you see that you're off, you adjust. But the only problem with that is it's after the fact.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. Like, you sent me your first set, I was able to get back to you quickly before hopefully your second and your third set, so you can make those adjustments. Because if you already done all 3 sets and you're done with that movement, and then I give you feedback, Rick, well, now the next time I go, I'll try to remember. So you missed that day of being able to improve your form and technique that same day, which that's the whole benefit of having a coach or having somebody to help you.
Yeah, form and technique, and then real life example of progress overload appropriately. I was hungry. I was excited. I was hungry. I was putting more and more weight on the bars, feeling like, doing a lot of ego lifting. And I think ego lifting has a time and a place. I don't think ego lifting is bad per se. I think it has a time and a place. But when you're always ego lifting, and my bones weren't ready for it. Yes, strength training will, in the long run, strengthen your bones. And I can tell just by how the lack of injuries that I've had this past year that it's working. Yeah. But if you're moving up too quickly, your bones aren't ready for it.
Right.
You don't have the muscle, you don't have the support. So I would be constantly spraining my ankle, stretching a ligament, doing something that, again, sets me back.
Right.
So taking the time to actually slow down, learn proper technique, do proper progressive overload has been a game changer.
Well, that's the whole getting injured thing, because you get injured and you're like, okay, now I feel 90% good. I'm going to try to hurry up to get back to where I used to be, get injured again because you pushed yourself
it's been a cycle.
really fast,
yeah.
Get injured, and you're like, okay, got to wait. And you can get stuck in a cycle of like, okay, I lost all my progress. I'm going to try to hurry up. And when you can't hurry it up, your body takes time to adjust and to adapt. It's very, it can adjust quickly, but it can only adjust so fast to the weight that you're forcing it to do. That's the whole, having a good spaced out workout, because I think a lot of people are like, you know what, I'm going to change this leaf around. I'm going to start exercising. I'm going to start going to the gym 5 days a week. I'm going to do it an hour each day. And then they get injured.
And that passion is great. And that hunger is great. And luckily for me, even with the injuries, I kept that passion and hunger. But for a lot of people, it's like, I don't want to do this. I keep getting hurt. I'm just going to stop.
Right.
And that's not it. You got to do it. You got to do it the right way. And you'll get there. You'll get to where I'm not where I want to be yet, but I'm still hungry. I'm still chasing it, and we're doing it the right way.
Yeah. So it's been a fun journey. And, we have 2 different programs that we follow, and it's completely 2 different companies. And they are very different. But going back to like when we do our own programs, because before we started doing our own programs, like you'd write a lot of stuff. I would do stuff for myself. and trying to figure out what's good and what's not good, what was too much. And I think what you were saying with you, like you like to do a lot. And that was something that I had to like vocalize, like, I just can't do this much. Like I'm burnt out 3/4 of the way in. And it was a really good start, but I'm like, it wasn't catered to us. So then we would fizzle out or we cut up movements and we're like, okay, for me, it was like trying to make sure I had good form on really complex movements that I wasn't ready for.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of times the stuff movements I would do, it's like, oh, I'm actually missing these kind of important movements that I never really thought about doing. So it's nice to have workout programs.
So along with the programs and the working out, we have also learned over time that it's really important, and we touched on this in earlier episodes, to do a proper warm-up and cool down and making sure you're doing your mobility work before and after your workouts. And just warming up your body, getting it primed for whatever the movements are of the day. And that will also add to preventing injuries.
Yeah, and that can look like different things for different people, and depending on what exercises you're doing. Me personally, I like to just do, the exact movement that I'm planning to work out, lighter.
Right.
So I just do less weight and more reps just to get my body moving and lubricated. The time before that, I used to just jog on the treadmill for 10 to 15 minutes. And sometimes I would get like most of my warm up, but I would still have to like sit in that position to get really limbered up. So, and that could be like either resistance bands where you're, doing stretching out your shoulders or whatever type of variation of using bands or exercises, cardio.
But a good coach and a good program will have that built in for you, so you're not playing the guessing game of what you should be doing.
And if it doesn't, you should still prioritize your warm-up ahead of time, because
or
not all programs have that built in.
All right, so let's circle back to what we've been sipping on. So we have recently become a fan of Bloom. Now, the taping of this video, we are not sponsored or endorsed by any at all.
But Bloom, if you want to reach out.
Maybe not after all we have to say. No, we've recently become a fan of Bloom. I really enjoy that it's carbonated. Is that the right term? Some people hate that, but I like that it's a little bubbly. I like that it has the prebiotics in it. And I like that they use green tea for their caffeine source, and they add in some L-theanine so that it doesn't give you that crash. It's just kind of a steady flow of energy. And it's like slow release almost.
Yeah, and you don't get the jitters.
I don't get the jitters. I don't get a crash. So I've been really enjoying them. And this Glacier Crush, it's pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty
like
good.
A subtle flavor.
Yeah, it's pretty subtle. There's like that lime one, or is it lemon? It's a very citrusy one. I don't remember what it is. That one's like very tart. Then there's that peach mango that I really like. I think it's mango peach.
I don't know.
I don't know. We should look at that ahead of time. But yeah, it's not bad. I think I like the other ones more than just the regular flavors.
My favorite, which is gone now, is the apple crisp. I don't think you ever tried it. It was their fall. It was their fall flavor. This is their winter flavor. That one was really good. But we started consuming them so regularly, we started to look into all their ingredients, and they use pretty clean ingredients, which I'm happy to say. But they're not third-party tested. Yeah. Which I don't know why. It's like,
yeah. Well, that was like a new realization for us. Like, why aren't we checking to see what things that we're putting in our body that are third-party tested? And after we started looking at everything, that all the supplements and all the things that we're taking,
things we're putting in our body daily, I think should be third-party tested. Yeah. And that's why we're kind of struggling with Bloom, because I do enjoy that. I think they're really good. Yeah. I don't have any negative side effects when I take them. But if you are a company and you are doing third-party testing, to me that says I care about the consumer. And so I'm kind of stuck on that. I'm struggling with that internally. Like, do I keep purchasing them or do I not? Like,
right, because we've been drinking Bloom for quite some time, where I personally also like it. I don't drink any other caffeine right now. I don't drink coffee in the morning. I don't start my day with this, but I
we don't have it every single day either.
Yeah, I don't have it every single day. And the effects that I feel from it,
are positive.
I enjoy, and I like that there is prebiotics in it. So it's like also getting better gut health. Like I can never get too much good stuff for my stomach, at least for me. Yeah. And then I just feel good, and like I don't have a crash, and it gives me the energy, not energy, but like
You can say it. I know it's not energy, but
It's
it
not
gives
energy.
it gives you
It wakes
that
me up.
awake feeling.
Yeah.
But throughout the next couple weeks, guys, we're going to be trying different energy drinks and telling you our opinion on them because we are shopping around for a new one.
Yeah. Well, another thing that was something con was the artificial flavors,
Oh, the artificial sweeteners. Yeah.
sweeteners that they put in it, and I'm like, a lot of stuff is really good, but like, how can we find something that's even cleaner and more natural and third-party tested?
Yeah.
And there's other options out there, so.
So we are, as much as we like Bloom, we are saying goodbye and looking for a cleaner energy drink that is third party tested. So that is our Bloom. Let's say if we're rating this energy drink from a 0 to a 10, let's say it together. We'll see how different.
Okay.
Okay, ready? Wait,
Are we
3.
doing whole numbers only?
No,
Okay.
3, 2, 1. 6.5.
You said 6.5?
I said 6.5.
I
Yeah.
did 7.5.
I did 6.5 because I'm very sad about the artificial sweetener and the fact that they're not third party tested. And another thing, trying to research what is actually in it, it's very vague. Like, yeah, they have the L-theanine, they have the, what is it?
The adaptogens.
The adaptogens in it, but it doesn't tell you how much per serving. So I think because I like them so much, I feel like they let me down a little bit.
Yeah.
Sorry, Bloom. So that's why I say 6.5. Why do you say 7.5?
To me, it was it was a big hit on the artificial flavors, and
Artificial sweeteners.
artificial sweeteners. I'm like, it's kind of part of the flavor, and third-party tested.
Yeah. So, not a 0, definitely above a 5. But like I said, just for our personal preference, we're looking for something with little.
Yeah. But I find that they taste good,
They do
and I
taste
like
really
the
good.
carbonation. I think that's why I didn't go any lower.
I don't know if anything else does carbonation like they do, but check in on us next week. See what we're drinking.
Yeah, let us know what you guys think of Bloom. If you guys had Bloom,
But they do
And
so
you-
much. They have their sodas now too. But the company as a whole isn't third party tested. So
yeah, they have the powders, don't they?
yeah, they have supplements too. But we don't do any other supplements. We just do the energy drink. All right. Well, I think that's all we have for you guys today. Let's do a quick recap of what we talked about. So when you're shopping around for a coach, personal trainer, or program, what should we be looking for?
Number 1, proper form and technique above everything. So that coach should be actively watching you, helping you through the movements, and making sure you're doing everything the right way.
Mm-hmm.
And then number 2 is making sure that your program is actually catered to you and actually progressing you through, I guess, weightlifting properly, not jumping up too high in a weight, not taking forever to progress, but something that's actually keeping you challenged, keeping you pushing yourself, and systematically going up. Like, you should see progress.
Yeah.
Third, accountability. That's a huge pro of having a personal trainer, someone who's actually checking in on you, making sure you're actually following through all the steps that you want to do to get to your goals. Someone's actively getting you closer there.
It is, and that's all really, really good. Because I remember, I know we're supposed to be wrapping it up, but I remember not certified yet, but people my entire life have always asked me, like, oh, coach me or help me or train me. I think that's something that I didn't know, especially young and starting off. I just made people do what I did. I'm like, you want to be like me, so I'm just going to run you through what I do. I'm not going to tailor it to you.
Yeah.
And a red flag, which I didn't know at the time, is always sore. Everyone I would train would always be super sore for like days afterwards, and just always like, I'm so, oh my god, that's good, whatever. Like,
Yeah,
like,
check it off.
like so I think just tailoring it to you is such an important thing. Is something that I've learned over time. It's not a one size fits all. Even though strength training is strength training, it's not one size fits all. There's different levels to it, different variables to it, different ways to do it. So making sure your coach or your program is tailoring it to you.
Yeah, definitely. And the fourth part of your program is that it's emphasizing rest and recovery.
Yeah.
That's also, I guess, equally as good as the progressive overload.
100%. Yeah. If you're not getting good sleep, you're not resting, if you're not recovering, you can't properly progressive overload.
Right. Well, it's kind of going back to, like, you're talking to these people and they're so burnt out that I'm like, okay, are they, one, it's too overload for them. And second, are they getting enough recovery and rest to actually match that much output?
Yeah.
And that's the hard thing to balance.
Yeah. And for programming, it's very, very similar, but there's one big difference.
Yeah. So not having that extra pair of eyes and not being able to have somebody that's catering a program towards you and not being able to have somebody that's checking in on your rest and all these other things that are so important to having a coach. If you don't have that, that means you're gonna have to be super intentional and in tune with your own body and have a log of how you feel and how, keeping track of all these exercises that you're doing and taking care of your own nutrition and taking care of your own rest and all these things you're gonna have to do yourself, which is fine. I mean, that's how we've been doing it for quite some time.
But for us, we had a lot of trial and error. We had a lot of failure to get to where we are right now.
Right.
And even right now, we're still learning and still tweaking, but I think we have the knowledge now to where we can do that.
Right.
And we kind of are each other's coach. So
Exactly.
we have each other. So yeah, if you're doing it on your own, just really would emphasize taking it really slow. Like you said, keeping a log. When are you working out? What are you doing? When are you eating? What are you eating? How are you sleeping? And it's really just trying to save you guys the pain that I went through. So just really be in tune with your body. Take it slow. Find a good program that fits where you are right now. And just because you purchase that program doesn't mean you have to stay with it forever. You can change, you can develop, you can adapt, you can eventually do more.
Yeah. Well, I think the biggest thing is because you're doing it on your own, take your time with it, because like we were saying earlier, like you don't work out one day and get shredded the next day. Mm-hmm. Like it's a journey, and the last thing you want to do is put a huge halt in your journey because you pushed it and you weren't doing things properly. And then that'll just be more defeating on how to reach your goals.
Yeah, and give it time. Like you do it 1 week, it's like if you're feeling like this isn't working, I wouldn't say change anything that first week. Give it 2 or 3 more weeks, and if you still think this isn't working, this isn't right, maybe I can go heavier. Then tweak it, but give it a few weeks because it's going to take time for your body to adjust, and there might be other factors, like we said, like nutrition or sleep, that's affecting you.
And it's going to take time to even know what your body does. Like, I mean, I'm still doing that every time I do a new phase. I'm like, okay, let me see what my next base weight is, because doing a different movement that I haven't done before on a different phase, I'm like, okay, let me do this for a couple of days, and then I figure, okay, by weeks number 2, I know where I should start my weights. I know what my work weight is, and I know my upper limits of that exercise. Yeah. And that takes time.
So if you guys are curious what we use or what we do, just drop us a comment and we'll reach out to you guys. But for now, that's all we got. Thank you guys for joining us. Please hit that like and subscribe button. It really helps us out. And we'll catch you next time.